Hi, welcome to Talking to Fitness People. I'm on an exciting uh, audio audio one way, video the other way uh, conversation with Basement Overlord. We have a third guest here who has arrived but is wrestling at the moment with some audio or video issues named Jahante. And Overlord started talking a little bit about FI, that is to say, introverted feeling, and how he says socionics views it more as a mental processes, whereas Jung, straight up Jungian stuff, views it more as a feeling or something else. I don't know. What did you
Yeah.
say? What did you say Jung viewed it as more?
Well, so the way I read it is that introvert thinking and introvert feeling both are in the same sort of realm of a person's head. They're introverted rational functions, except introverted thinking has more to do with ideas, and introvert feeling has more to do with feelings, like literal like feelings. Whereas socionics takes it and makes it introverted ethics. So it's not about feelings; it's about ethical decision making.
Okay, I mean, but aren't there emotional reactions to things that aren't about ethics?
Yeah, I think there are. I mean, like you can have like I mean, it doesn't have to be ethical at all, which is why it's kind of a weird difference between the two. Like it's very different in this regard. Some of the socionics functions, like introvert thinking, is pretty similar to me, but not introvert feeling at all.
Well, I guess you could argue that you know actually feelings are always related to issues of justice. That if you feel frustrated, it's that you feel you're being treated unfairly by reality or something. If you feel like your feelings hurt, it's because you feel that somebody treated you shabbily when you expected otherwise.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
angry, it's probably in response to some sort of injustice. And if you're happy, though, I mean, like, or nostalgic. Well, there's an emotion that's not related to ethics, it wouldn't seem to me. Nostalgia. Except unless you're saying the justice of mortality, the justice of time
well,
passing.
yeah. You know what I was thinking of when you said that was that maybe the difference is if you treat yourself as an object, that has to go under the scrutiny of logic, you won't feel emotional about whatever's going on. Like, sure, you can make a judgment on it, like, oh, that person shouldn't have done that, but you won't feel emotional. Versus if you put yourself into the picture as a subject, your emotions, will get involved, and even if it's the same exact scenario, you'll feel certain things if you are part of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting the idea that if you are engaged in something rationally, then you're not engaged in it emotionally. I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily know if those two things are mutually exclusive. I mean, can you be emotional about something and still deal with it rationally at the same time, or are you putting the emotions aside when you start turning your attention rational?
Yeah, I feel like if you are dealing with something rationally, you have to put your emotions aside and look at it from an objective point of view, as if it's not happening to you. Because if it's not happening to you, then emotions aren't involved whatsoever, unless they're part of the situation. Like if the situation is this person's angry at this person, then that's like an objective fact. Versus a feeling, if I feel angry, it's kind of hard to describe that objectively. I have to like convey it with ideas. Like, okay, I feel like this, like anger. Like you have to describe it.
Right. Well, what about feelings about? Well, I mean, people have emotions about stuff that doesn't involve them necessarily, right? People can be angry on somebody's behalf.
Like what? Like what's an example?
I don't know, like Ferguson, the shooting of what's his name in Ferguson, Michael Brown, and how everybody got
Mm-hmm.
all mad about it, right? That's an example of people being
Yeah,
mad about something that has nothing to do with them, or at least not directly.
yeah. Well, what if it relates to them sort of in a synchronistic level? Like this relates to an ethical judgment that I have made, and so I feel personally affected. Like, imagine if aliens just invaded the Earth and saw, like, a scenario happen. Would they care? Like, I don't think they would care that much.
Well, they just say, look what those creatures are doing.
Yeah, they'd be like, look what those creatures are doing. They'd look at it objectively, whereas people, they see injustices happening, like starvation, whatever, and they make ethical judgments on it, and then they feel emotional.
I gotta find my cigarettes. Hold on one sec. You can stop panicking now. I found my cigarettes.
You had me in an indescribable feeling terror for about 30 seconds. It wasn't introverted thinking. It was definitely introverted feeling right there.
Yeah, you were relating to you. That's good empathy. You had a lot of empathy. You're like, oh. So, regardless of that, about the FI thing, for me, I've always experienced FI as this, like, as I've described on some videos in the past, a wave, right? A wave of things a wave of something that comes over me and then washes away and then is gone. What's your experience of FI?
Well, a little bit more on that, like what you're talking about. But for me, FI, I mean, the way I see it is in socionics, it's my role function, which means I put it on when I'm first meeting people, for example. And so what that means for me is that I have a hard time really caring about situations that people feel passionate about, like starvation or Ferguson or whatever. I tend to look at it more objectively. But when people are telling me these things, they're like, oh, did you hear about this thing that happened? It's so terrible, right? I will pretend like I care on an emotional level to try to relate to them, when in reality, I don't really feel emotionally attached to it at all.
So, I mean, how would you differentiate between that behavior and FE?
Yeah, I think with FE, it's an objective feeling of what's happening in the room right now. So, like, if the person is crying over starvation in Africa, and they're crying, and I see them feeling bad, that's when the FE kicks in. That's when it's like, okay, I see what's happening right now. You feel bad about this, and I can relate to that feeling you're having right now. But as far as the synchronistic aspect of why you are caring about this thing that's happening, I have no idea why. I don't feel why you care about it. All I feel is you crying about it.
So you feel bad for the person who's feeling bad in front of you, but not for the thing they're feeling bad about. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I feel the emotions in the room as it's happening right now, but not why it's happening. Why are they feeling bad?
I'm going to pause for one.
Explain it to me.
Let me take 1 second here to send a webcam request to. There we go. Now I can see you. Can you hear me? Now I can't hear you though. Now you have no sound. We got your camera but no sound now. Before we had sound and no camera. Okay, so regarding FI, what about your own feelings though when you're not with other people? Do you have Do you have like? Do you feel sad? Do you feel happy, or do you feel mostly like, "Oh, I got shit to do"?
Um, what I would describe it as is that because I value introvert thinking more than introvert feeling, what tends to happen is I try to look at myself objectively, but I can only do that for so long. I mean, I'm a human being. I have emotions. And so what happens is FI eventually overtakes me, and this might be a little bit of extrovert feeling as well. The feeling functions both overtake me, and it's almost like this uncontrollable thing that I have to sort of deal with because I just don't value introverted feeling. I don't value extrovert feeling as much as introverted thinking, and so it's almost like my unconscious is doing the work for me. You know, it's balancing out my introverted thinking that's on all the time.
Okay, I think that's you squeaking, isn't it? Am I squeaking? MS says someone's squeaking. Told me to stop squeaking, but I don't think I'm squeaking. Am I? Do I use this? Like that? Like that? Maybe? I don't know. Okay.
Can you hear me making my bed when I'm talking?
A little bit.
Okay. I don't think it's squeaking though. I don't know how fabric would make a squeaking sound.
Yeah. Well, squeaking is a. Oh right, keyboard. Okay. Here. That I have a solution for.
What was your solution?
To the keyboard away from the mic. My solution is this wireless keyboard.
Oh my
Wireless
God,
keyboard. See. Okay, so that solves that problem. The reason I'm using the mic, that means, is the internal mic on the laptop. So anyway, let's talk a little bit more about FI in the following way, which is, what purpose do you feel FI serves for you?
Like I said, it's the role function for me. So I think.
Okay, but forget about with other people. I'm not talking about with other people.
Oh, for myself? Period?
Yeah, because look, that's my experience of FI. My understanding of it is FI are the feelings that overwhelm me about me. If I'm resonating with somebody else's feelings, then that's not FI in my book.
Yeah, the way I see it for FI is like the way I was saying before is it's parallelism, like you're relating to them in synchronicity, versus FE is you're just relating to what's going on right now.
Well, I mean, when I experience FI, we all do experience emotions alone that are not in response to anything that's happening in front of us or in response to somebody else's emotions. And those experiences, that's what I mean. What is the purpose of that?
Yeah, for me, I mean, quite frankly, the way I see it is it's just this thing that gets in the way that I almost wish wasn't so annoying. You know, like it's like if I want to do something and I'm feeling emotionally like I don't want to do it, then I just don't end up doing it. Like if I don't want to do something, like I won't do it. But like I'm not sure if that relates to introvert feeling.
It sounds to me like you're not doing a whole hell of a lot of feeling at all, Basement Overlord. No.
I mean, FE is the lowest for me, and then introvert feeling is not too good either.
Right. Well, this is what I have to say about introverted feeling. For me, is that it does have a purpose, and its purpose is it's like you're sweating. It's like sweating, right? Except sweating, if you're exercising, it gets you out it gets out your toxins from your bloodstream or whatever. And if you cry, when I feel like the emotion builds up over time, and I start just to have a big cry, then afterwards I feel very much cleansed and emptied of a bunch of accumulated stuff. I'm not sure what it all is that I've accumulated, but yeah, I feel emptied of it. MS here. I don't know if that's metasoap or not. That's my guess. It sounds like her when I start reading her comments or her words here. It certainly sounds like her. I was. That's fucking Overlord, not me. Overlord, she's busting your chops. Mute your mic when you're not talking, so that metasoap doesn't yell at us.
I'm what? She can hear me fucking.
Yeah, she's annoyed. She's super annoyed by it. So if you can't,
dude, I'm trying to make my bed here. The fuck?
Why? Didn't you say you were gonna go? Didn't you say you were gonna go to sleep pretty soon?
Yeah. So
why in the world would you make? Why would you make your bed before you go to sleep?
All right, I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking. You assume that the sheets were already on my bed and I made them. You're wrong, sir. I just did my laundry.
Okay.
They were totally off. They were totally off my bed, so I have to. You know, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I see. You use sheets.
Yes. You don't love just like going to a bed and just like feeling just the sheets around. It's like a mummy. Like you're like a mummy. It's so comfortable.
I sleep on a couch.
God, can you like improve your introvert sensing like just a little bit?
Hey, do you see this garage? Do you see the impact I'm making on this garage? I've got a lot of shit done in this garage. I clean it up. And if you look here, look at this. I've got my my summer schedule for the classes up painted on my wall here. See? Mm-hmm. Isn't that very orderly of me?
Yeah. Wow. You know what? Okay, I give you 1 point. I give you 1 point out of 100 points.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take that one. Woo! I got 1 point.
Yeah. Okay. 40 years from now or whatever, you'll have 2 points.
And then all right. Cool. I'll be excited for that day to come. No, but I am making progress. That's why I started doing this. I got sick of making progress on that shit. I was like, I just don't feel like it anymore. Because Abraham and I went out to dinner and we got back. I was just like, fuck it.
But yeah, back to Metasoap's complaints. First of all, Metasoap, I'm sorry. I gotta make my bed. And then before that, you know, I think you're talking. It sounded like what you're talking about is you have all these emotions that you disregard, and they're just bottled up, and you just deal with them emotionally. Is that what it sounds like? You're just releasing them?
Yeah, I don't deal with them. They surprise me, and I start sobbing. Yeah. You know, I start sobbing. Yeah, good job. Thank you, Basement Overlord, for getting me back on topic. I agree with Metasoap. I'm assuming that's what she means. I shouldn't talk about it on camera. Hold on. Yeah, so I do feel as though it cleanses me, but I don't feel like it really serves any other purpose except it resets me to sort of look at life again like, okay, now I've gotten all that out, then I can reset and I can look at things. You know?
Yeah, see, I think that's extroverted feeling. I think that's extroverted feeling for two reasons. One, inferior extrovert feeling for INTPs and ISTPs is stereotypically described as hyper-emotionalism. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just, but I'm not INTP.
Yeah, okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that I do the exact same thing too. And the second thing that I want to point out is that, oh god, it feels so weird when you mute yourself. But the second thing I want to point out is that you are objectively crying. Like, if I walked in and I saw you crying, like, if I walked in and saw what was happening, I would see, okay, you are feeling emotional right now. You are crying. Like, this is what is happening. Like, everything that's going on, like, anyone can see. So it's an objective feeling. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I don't agree with it. Because look,
okay,
just because I'm expressing my internal feelings in some fashion, that I'm not display free, doesn't mean that they're extroverted. In my opinion, extroverted feelings are all about other people's emotions. Introverted feelings are all about my emotions. And I know what it's like to be with another extroverted feeler and have both of you guys go, no, you choose. No, you choose. No, you choose. You know, it's like I don't really care. I just want you to be. I'm managing you right now, which is how extroverted feelers deal with emotion in general. Like Well, don't worry about my emotions. I'll figure out my emotions. I'm just gonna try to keep you happy, and I'll sort of manage things like that. Well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure I am sort of wrong, but I am saying this is how I perceive the difference between extrovert feeling and introvert feeling. Because if it's not that, then it gets too mushy. The boundaries get too mushy.
Okay, but let me respond to your point where extrovert feelers tend to focus on other people's emotions, like how you're feeling. Do you agree with that? That's what you said, pretty much.
I think it's a matter of what you are managing by. From
Yeah.
which spot you are managing. Are you managing because
Yeah.
I feel this way, so I'm going to manage you to help me feel differently, or are you managing as in you feel that way, I'm going to behave to get you to feel differently?
Yeah, the reason why I think a lot of extrovert feelers manage other people's emotions is because then the other person shows happiness, and then the extrovert feeling type sees that happiness and feels happy themselves because they see, oh look, I see happiness right now in that person. This is making me happy. They want to see the happiness. They don't want to just ask, "Are you happy?" And the person says in like a monotone voice, "Yeah, I'm freaking so happy right now." Like they don't want to hear that. They want to see the happiness
I
right in
am
front of them.
happy. I am happy
Yeah,
with
they
you.
don't. Yeah, if the extrovert feeler sees that, they won't get anything out of it. They don't want to see just "I am happy." They want to see, "Wow, man, I'm so happy right now. This is so awesome." Because then they see, "Oh, look, that's happiness right there. That's the feeling they're feeling right now."
See, I like
They
it in a
see it.
third. I like it in a third slot where it belongs, which is I'm worried about their happiness. Oh shit, my internet's gonna go off for sure if it didn't already. Are you still there? Anybody? No. Hey, I just lost power at my house. Period. They're doing these street work and places around Temple City are losing power. Period. My house just lost power. I don't know how long it will be till power comes back on.